Hi guys, and welcome to the Product Village. My name is Nathan Flo Rocker. Today we are going to be reviewing the latest microphone from Godox, and that's the ALink Kit 2. I've had this microphone for a little bit of time, and I can tell you that this microphone is amazing. Now let's jump straight into the features, right? There are 8 features that I actually think make this microphone excellent. First is universal compatibility. This microphone works on mobile phones, on cameras, action cameras, and PC. The second feature I love about this microphone is the fact that it has something called a digital horseshoe audio. Now, that's wireless audio, right? Most times we're used to using receivers that we have to, connect a 3.5mm jack into your camera directly. But this particular microphone has a digital horseshoe, meaning you can transfer audio wirelessly. Now, this is only available for Sony and Canon. But if you're not using Sony and you're not using Canon, don't get afraid, right? You still have the 3.5mm jack by the side of the receiver that you can actually use to connect directly to your camera. The next feature I love about this microphone is that it has 10 levels of denoise control. 10 levels of denoise control. That's insane. Another feature of this microphone is auto limiting. Now, this is sort of like anti-distortion technology in that when you're recording, it makes sure that your audio never ever clips. Another feature of this microphone is that it has a 300-meter transmission range. Yep, you heard me right. Another feature of this microphone is that it has 30-hour recording time. Now, you get 10 hours from each transmitter, but with the entire casing, you get a total of 30 hours. It also has something called instant playback through your device. Now, if you're using a mobile phone, for some microphones, you have to remove the receiver before you can get to hear what you recorded. But with the ALink, you don't have to do that. You can actually just play the audio directly from your mobile phone and you're good to go. And then lastly, it's actually pretty ultra light, right? The microphone itself is about like 6 grams, so it's pretty light. Now, in terms of audio specifications, it's only directional, that's 1. 2, it has a frequency range of 20 Hertz to 20 kilohertz. It records at a sample rate of 24-bit 48 kilohertz. It has a maximum SPL of 115 decibels and a signal-to-noise ratio of 65 decibels. All right, enough tech stuff. Let's unbox and let me show you guys what's in the box. This is all we have in the case of the Godox ALink Kit 2. Now we have a USB-C to USB-A cable. We have a 3.5mm cable. We have 2 windshields. We have a manual. We have 2 transmitters, 1 USB-C receiver. We have 2 magnets. We have the cold shoe adapter, and then we have the charging case itself. The transmitter of the Godox ALink Kit 2 has just one control by the side. It's one button that serves 3 purposes. First is to put it on, 2 is to engage noise cancellation, and lastly to pair. Now, when the microphone is not paired, you see it blinking green, and then when you engage the noise cancellation, it's orange, and when it's on, it turns blue, especially when it's fully charged. The receiver of the Godox ALink has just 2 controls on the body. You have one on the left and you have one on the right. The one on the left here that has the M actually serves for mode and volume button, while the one on the right is for the power switch, the pairing, and noise cancellation. It has 3 indicators on top that lets you know if the microphones are paired to the receiver. On the side, you have a slot for USB-C, so you can actually be charging your phone whilst using the receiver. And next to that, you have a 3.5mm jack slot for connecting to your camera. The sound you are listening to right now is coming from the Godox ALink Kit 2 microphone. That's what I'm using right here, and I'm recording directly into my mobile phone using the SHURE Motif Audio app. That's my go-to app anytime I want to record audio directly, especially if I want to use it for post-production. Now, you guys tell me, how does the mic sound? To me, it sounds good, to be honest. Pretty damn good. So I think what we're going to do next is we're going to record using the same microphone. I'm going to be using it on the Osmo Pocket 3. Then we'll also use it on the Sony FX3. I really want to see what it sounds like. And then after that, I think we'll go straight into how to use the ALink with the GodoxMic app. All right, let's go do that. All right, guys, this is what it sounds like when I use the ALink on the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. Right now, I'm using the wind chills because it's a bit breezy out here. And I think the audio should be as good as the one we checked out in the studio. So what do you guys think? Sounds good? All right, guys, this is what it sounds like when you're using the Godox ALink on a camera using the 3.5mm cable. Right now, I'm recording onto my Sony FX30. And as you can see, my cable is directly connected into the camera. So what you're listening to is the audio going in directly. If this was a digital horseshoe, we would not need that cable at all. But because we're using the cable, this is what it sounds like. Alrighty, so this is how the application actually looks. You have the microphone right there, and then on top you have battery level. It shows both transmitter 1 and transmitter 2. Right on top here, there's a question mark. If you click on that, it gives you the transmitter volume column. Now, basically what it's doing right here is explaining to you the colors, right? Most times in audio engineering, or most times in audio, you see green, you see sort of like orange, and then you see red. Red meaning distortion, right? So what it's saying to you right here is that when you're on the green, it means your volume is just right. And then when you're on orange, it says slightly louder. There is a risk of sonic boom, right? And then thirdly, red. It may cause popping noise. It is recommended to lower it. And that's the reason why my volume is at 1. Now, if you're, shooting run and gun and you don't have time for post-production, then you can amp your volume up, but stay within the orange zone. Don't let it push into the reds, lest, it distorts. If you deliberately push your volume too far, it's going to distort, even though it has anti-clipping, right? Don't test it. Now, underneath you have the denoise section. Now, remember what I told you at the very beginning that there are 10 denoise control levels. That's what you have here. Now you have close, meaning you're not using it at all. And then you have weak, middle, and strong. Like I said, if you're going to be using this microphone for post-production, I would advise you don't even use the denoising at all because it's going to affect your audio in post-production. But if you're doing running and gunning, then you might as well stay in the middle. I realize that the middle, it's sort of like a balance between having the denoise and too much denoise. When you use the strong, it might alter the sound of the audio and not, give you your original sound. Now, if you click, now you have weak, middle, strong. If you click on custom, you're going to have 10 different levels. Now, it doesn't exactly specify how intense it is, but I'm presuming that because it moves from 1 all the way to 10. 10, I think, being the strongest. That's, moving away from the 3 setups, the weak, the middle, and the strong. So I would push it back to 1. Yep, because right now I'm not even recording into it. This is just to show you guys how it works. Now you also have amplifier underneath. Now, the purpose for the amplifier is to make it easier for you to be able to hear your playback when you're done recording using the microphone. If you do not put this on, you will not be able to hear yourself when you're done. Now, you have to set this up before you start using it. Otherwise, if you try switching off the amplifier in the middle of your recording, this is what's going to happen. See, it disconnects. And then it's going to connect back again. It says, allow GodoxMic to access ALink. I say, okay. And then we're back to square one again. So it's good for you to set the amplifier if you intend using the amp before recording. And then finally, underneath, you have speaker mode. Now, when it's on single track, you're recording mono. When it's on stereo, you have to be using both microphones. You cannot record stereo with just one microphone. It's not gonna work. This microphone does not work that way. And that's basically everything about the settings. I mean, they're pretty straightforward and very easy for you to use. Alrighty, so let's speak about pricing and then a few other stuff. Okay, and that's all we have for the Godox ALink Kit 2 microphone. Now, if you have a look at this microphone, right, it does basically what most wireless microphones do. I think for me personally, there are two things that really stand out that makes this microphone unique. It's nice that this comes with a digital horseshoe for audio, so you can actually do away with all those cables. Two, is the quality of the audio based on the way I actually used it, right? This microphone is a beast, and I think it's going to be a challenger for a lot of major brands, especially because I think the price point is going to be awesome. Now, as at the time I'm reviewing this, the pricing wasn't exactly very defined. Rumor had it that the microphone will come in two types. You have the Kit 1, which will have only one transmitter, and then you have the Kit 2, which is one I'm using right now that has two transmitters. And the Kit 1 is rumored to be about $40, whilst the Kit 2 is supposed to be around $70. So I do believe that the Godox ALink Kit 1 or Kit 2 is going to be a major game changer for a lot of microphones. I mean, a microphone that you can use for podcasts, audio recordings for instruments. I mean, come on, man. I mean, what more do you need? And don't get me started by telling me, it's not 32-bit float audio. We've gone past that stage right now, right? I mean, if you know how to handle audio properly, 32-bit float shouldn't be. I mean, why would you want to distort your audio anyways? It just doesn't make sense. So, I mean, randomly, I would tell you that this is a fantastic microphone. I've reviewed a few microphones in the past, and I can tell you that this mic is a massive contender, all right? So once it gets out, honestly speaking, I would advise you guys to get your hands on it. Godox did not pay me for this. They didn't at all. This is just my honest review. And because I know audio very well, I can tell you when a microphone sounds good and if it's whack. I think the next level Godox can move to after this ALink is to have it record internally. If they can do that, game over, man. All right, guys, so that's it. If you need more info about this microphone, please do not hesitate to ask me a question in the comment section. If you get yourself one, do let me know. If you have any issues with it, do let me know. I gotta stop talking, right? I'm gonna see you guys on the next review. Ciao.